I woke up before sunrise, the world still wrapped in a gentle hush, and the first rays of light just beginning to peek through my window. I stepped outside, the grass cool and damp beneath my feet, to check on a contraption I'd left out overnight, curious to see if my experiment had worked. Droplets of water, clear and pure, were trickling down its surface into a small container, each drop a tiny victory against the dry air. It hadn't rained, and there were no pipes or hoses. Just water, seemingly from nowhere, appearing as if by magic in the morning light. This wasn't a high-tech gadget, just something I built in my garage with about $12 worth of hardware store supplies and a bit of curiosity. It's simple, but it works. It pulls water out of the air we breathe, using nothing but basic materials and the natural process of condensation. We forget that the world is full of simple, brilliant solutions that don't require billion-dollar infrastructure or advanced technology. This little device is proof of that. Sometimes the best answers are right in front of us, waiting to be rediscovered. Watching water collect, drop by drop, is a powerful reminder. We're surrounded by resources we often overlook, hidden in plain sight. The air itself is a massive, invisible river of fresh water, flowing all around us, day and night. We just need to know how to tap into it, to see the possibilities that nature quietly offers. This isn't about replacing your plumbing or solving the global water crisis overnight. It's about understanding a principle and seeing results with your own eyes, learning by doing, and discovering what's possible. The satisfaction of building something that works, no matter how simple, is hard to beat. It's a feeling of accomplishment that lingers. You took a problem, how to get water without a well or a pipe, and solved it with your own hands, using creativity and resourcefulness. That small cup of water represents more than hydration. It's self-reliance, ingenuity, and a connection to the world around us. A quiet victory, one in the cool, damp air of early morning. A reminder that sometimes the simplest ideas can be the most powerful. So, how does this contraption pull water out of thin air? It's science, not magic. The secret lies in understanding how water moves through the air all around us, even when we can't see it. Think about a cold glass of iced tea on a humid day. The outside sweats. That's condensation. The air is full of invisible water vapor, and when it hits something colder, it turns into liquid water right before your eyes. Your water collector works the same way, but on a larger scale and with a bit more intention. The key is the dew point, the temperature at which air can't hold its water vapor anymore. When the air cools to this point, water has to go somewhere, so it condenses. As the night cools, the air near the ground gets colder. The temperature drops, especially under a clear sky, and the conditions become perfect for condensation. Your collector is designed to get even colder than the air, becoming the perfect surface for dew to form. Its materials and shape help it lose heat quickly, making it even more effective. It's like walking through a field in the morning. The grass is soaked with dew, even if it didn't rain. That's nature's way of collecting water from the air. Or look at a spider web on a foggy morning, covered in tiny beads of water. Even the smallest surfaces can harvest moisture from the air. Our device is just a man-made version of that blade of grass or spider web. We're mimicking what nature already does so well. By facing the cold, clear night sky, it radiates heat away into space, cooling down fast. This rapid cooling is what makes the collector so efficient. As moist air drifts past the chilled surface, it can't hold its water vapor. The vapor clings to the cold surface and transforms into droplets. The vapor condenses into liquid dew and trickles down into the collection bucket. Drop by drop, the water adds up. It's a simple, elegant process that nature has been perfecting for billions of years. We're just tapping into that ancient wisdom. We're just borrowing the idea, learning from the world around us and applying it in new ways. No magic, just physics, patience, and a little ingenuity. With the right setup, you can collect water almost anywhere. That's how you pull water from thin air, by harnessing the natural processes happening all around us every single day. Pulling water from air isn't new, it's ancient wisdom. In the Canary Islands, people planted caraway trees to catch fog and collect water. In Chile's Atacama Desert, woven mats and piles of stones harvested fog for survival. Ancient Greeks in Ukraine built stone mounds that cooled at night, condensing water from the air. Some of these could produce thousands of gallons a day. The principle is universal. Create a surface that gets cold enough to reach the dew point and collect condensation. Whether it's a tree, a mat, a pile of rocks, or a plastic sheet, the goal is the same. We might have better materials today, but the idea hasn't changed. We're rediscovering practical wisdom that's been with us for millennia. Sometimes the best solutions have always been right in front of us. Let's get practical. You don't need a degree or a big budget. Just about $12 and a trip to the hardware store. Here's your shopping list. A 4-foot by 4-foot sheet of black plastic, about $4. 16 feet of cheap wood for a frame, $5. A box of screws or staples, $1. And a clean bucket, $2. Use bricks, rocks, or cinder blocks from your yard to prop it up. That's it. $12 for a working water collector. This isn't about buying a fancy kit. It's about turning ordinary materials into something useful. Anyone, anywhere, can do this. It's a blue-collar project with real results. The satisfaction comes from building it yourself. No special skills required, just a willingness to try. Ready to build? Let's get started. Time to build. Lay your 4 wood pieces on the ground to form a square, like a picture frame. Fasten the corners with screws or nails. Don't worry about perfection, it just needs to hold together. Stretch your black plastic sheet over the frame, pulling it snug. Attach it with staples or screws every few inches. Now, create a shallow cone shape by placing a small smooth weight in the center. This forms a low point for water to collect. Carefully poke a small hole at the lowest point, just big enough for water to drip through. Place your collection bucket underneath. The frame, the surface, the funnel shape, and the drip hole. Done. Set it up outside and let it work overnight. It's easier than assembling flat-pack furniture. Simple, effective, and satisfying. Now let's see what it can do. Placement is everything. Put your collector in an open area with a clear view of the night sky, no trees or buildings overhead. The colder the surface gets, the more water you'll collect. Good airflow helps, but avoid strong winds. Tilt the frame at about 30 degrees with the bucket under the low corner. Use bricks or rocks to prop it up securely. The best results come on clear, calm, humid nights. Clouds trap heat and reduce condensation. Set it up in the evening. Check it at dawn. A little planning makes the difference between a dry bucket and a fresh drink. Smart setup, better results. So, how much water can you expect? On a good night, a 16-square-foot collector might yield a cup to a pint. Not a flood, but in a survival situation, that's a lifesaver. The point is to prove the concept and understand the process. Need more? Build a bigger collector or set up several. Around the world, massive fog fences use the same principle to collect thousands of gallons daily. Your backyard project is a small version of these large-scale systems. The science is the same. The only difference is scale. With a little ingenuity, the air itself becomes a reliable water source. Your project is a window into that world of possibility. The water you collect is basically distilled, but it can pick up dust or debris. Always filter and purify before drinking. Make a simple filter, cut the bottom off a plastic bottle, turn it upside down, and layer cloth, sand, charcoal, and gravel inside. Pour your water through. Gravel catches big stuff, sand and charcoal clean and improve taste. Run it through the filter a couple of times for clarity. After filtering, boil the water for at least a minute, 3 at high altitude, to kill bacteria, or use solar disinfection. Fill a clear bottle, lay it in direct sunlight for 6 hours. UV rays kill most pathogens. With these steps, your harvested water is safe to drink. Simple materials, safe results. Clean water, straight from the air. That's self-reliance in action. This project is more than a weekend hobby. It's a link to human ingenuity across centuries, connecting us to the resourcefulness of those who came before us. Some of our biggest problems have been solved before, often with elegant simplicity. Ancient civilizations mastered the art of capturing water, using clever designs that still inspire us today. Today, people worldwide use these principles, from California's redwoods to fog collectors in Guatemala, adapting old wisdom to new challenges and local needs. This isn't dead technology. It's a living field of innovation, constantly evolving as engineers and communities refine and improve these methods. The beauty is its accessibility. Anyone can try it, anywhere. Whether you live in a city or the countryside, these projects invite everyone to participate. It's a small act of self-reliance in a world that often encourages dependence, empowering you to take control of your own resources. It teaches us to see our environment as full of resources and opportunities, reminding us that nature provides more than we often realize. So give it a shot, spend the $12, build the frame, and set it out for the night. The process itself is rewarding, and you'll learn something new. You might collect a cup of water, or more. Even a small yield is a tangible result of your effort and curiosity. But you'll definitely gain a new appreciation for the hidden systems around us, and start noticing the subtle ways water moves through your world. You'll join a tradition of problem-solving that stretches back thousands of years, becoming part of a lineage of inventors and tinkerers. Sometimes the most profound solutions are simple, cheap, and hiding in plain sight, waiting for someone curious enough to rediscover them. And that's a job worth doing, one that connects us to the past, empowers us in the present, and inspires hope for the future.